Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. Today we're going to carry on with our intermediate player guide series, but I'm switching things up a little bit as we have covered a lot of things in the new player guide series. And then into the intermediate player guide series, one of the things I've been hitting on here and there is just tactics in general. What are tactics that work once you get a little more experience under your belt? Things that work out really well. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the power of completely collapsing a flank when you are aggressive brawling battleships at the start. This battle, the footage might look a little different on your screen. It actually comes all the way back from December, and I've been hanging on to this clip for some time trying to figure out a good use for it. And when I was looking through some videos, I was like, this is the one that we can break down and discuss. So first off, I am here in the Georgia. It is a tier 9 premium American battleship. I think it used to be available for coal, and that's how I picked it up. I enjoyed playing the Massachusetts so much, and then when I saw the Georgia, I was like, I have to get to Georgia. One of the things that works really well with Georgia, when you want to collapse a flank, you want a battleship that's strong, that can kind of sustain the damage up front. But also, what is so interesting about the Georgia is that she has fantastic speed as a tier 9 battleship. So you can see right now we're just rocking 34.6 knots, and that's even without using our engine boost, because you get that here on Georgia and you can break 40 knots. And you can do some really wicked things with this amazing secondary battery like you found in the Massachusetts, but also these 18-inch guns. You get 6 of them, 2 in the front and 1 in the rear. So it's a fantastic ship. If it comes back for availability and you don't have it, I would recommend it. She's just a really fun battleship overall to play. However, that aside, so let's talk about collapsing a flank. Since the commander rework of 0.10, they really did a good job of killing more, or wargaming, killing more of the brawling action that you'd find maybe more typical in random battles. Now that's becoming more complicated these days because of, increased HE spam. And then you have things like submarines that can just one-shot you, or shotgun you as it were. And so that can just make for a frustrating experience when you're really trying to push and you want to do something like I'm going to illustrate in today's video. So I'm going to talk about a few things of how to make this work, recipes of success, of how do you collapse a flank. The first thing you need is willing participants. So in being in a division, maybe with your friends or with your clanmates, each of you being able to take some brawling ships. So, it could be Georgia. Now, heck, you can be Schlieffen. You could have a Kremlin, kind of the tank. Battleships that are really good, that are going to sustain themselves in a fight. Now, one of the things that works really well with the Georgia is that she gets that enhanced cooldown time on her repair party, and I nosed into the island here because I was pretty sure that Austin was dumping torpedoes, and I'm pretty sure he's dumping even more torpedoes once again and showing me that much side. But your repair party will be back up in 40 seconds, so you can be healing a lot. So you need to be able to pick up a good ship. Schlieffen can be a little bit difficult to a certain extent, just because she's a battle cruiser. She's a little more squishy. I'm kind of grinding up that line right now with Prince Ruprecht. So that can be a little difficult, but she has amazing secondaries. She has access to the quick or fast repair or damage control parties, and really good concealment. That helps a lot. There's the second rack of awesome torpedoes we were expecting. So you need to be able to have willing friends, willing clanmates to do something like this with you. And then secondly, you need good ships that you can pull this off really well, to be able to be aggressive like we are. And the third step, and that's probably one of the more important steps, is that you push together in unison. So I have been buying some time here. I've been waiting for both of my clanmates to arrive to get up beside me so then that we can push cohesively as a team. I've also been very mindful of this Rugumo off to my left because I don't just want to come around the corner and eat a bunch of torpedoes as I accidentally fire a gun there. But you need to be able to push together as a cohesive unit. It's kind of a bit of a shock and awe tactic when you are able to catch the enemy team off guard, just because, you know, when you're not just one battleship pushing in, right, you're very easy to focus. But when there's two or ideally three, like we have in this situation, it is some really amazing key ingredients for success, because when you're pushing together in numbers like this, you often overwhelm the enemy team on the flank because they're really not sure how to respond to a push like this. And they also, because they're, for this example, none of them are in the, well, some are in a division, but I don't think, it's not the guys on our flank except the Austin. They're going to have a hard time being cohesive as a team to decide what needs to be done. To work together as a, to counter, do a counter offensive or just defend our ability to be able to push in here. So that's one of the amazing strengths that you have when you're doing something like this. So when you're brawling and you're pushing a flank, you've already seen me do so, but being able to utilize the islands is very phenomenal. Really helps you out a lot. It helps you mitigate damage. Maybe you need to buy some time letting your repair party come off cooldown, or you're waiting for your damage control party to come off cooldown, so on and so forth. So, and as my clanmates are working the top, they're making sure that no enemy ships are going to be left remaining up there. We don't want them to get in behind us. That's often one of the things I see a lot of teams can struggle with, is simply the fact that they leave, like, let's say you collapse the flank, you take the cap. However, your team may have left one or two enemy ships up far back in their spawn and decide not to chase them and move to the mid, and then that will collapse the type of push you have, because now you're all of a sudden you're in a crossfire. So you have to be able to work together as a cohesive team. One of the strengths something like the Georgia has is because of her speed. She can go faster than a good number of destroyers in the game. It's kind of funny to be able to run down a destroyer when you are in the battleship like the Georgia. Here you can see we have the engine boost going now. So you're going to be able to see how much speed we get up to. And we've just completely collapsed and obliterated this flank. We also have a Prince Oregon with us who's working with us. It looks like we have some other teammates that are finally joining in on the fray and capping C. But now we're just going to charge on into Bravo, and you can see that the enemy team has won their push on the flank, and now they're beginning to circle out and around. So we want to be able to come and support our team with this. So first, reeling clanmates, reeling friends to do a push like this, having the correct type of ships that are really good to do something like collapsing a flank, and then cohesively pushing together as a unit, because as soon as maybe one of your clanmates or one of your division partners just decides to, oh, it's getting a little hot, I'm going to stop, then that's going to mean that he falls back, and as you push forward, the enemy team will be focusing a lot more of their attention on you, and that tends to shatter type of push like that. So those are the three main things I would say off the bat. The fourth is being able to utilize islands, because it helps take some pressure off of you whenever you can isolate one-on-one engagements if possible, which we saw. We took out the Republic with our secondaries, and then it was just us in that St. Louis, while my div mates were taking care of the enemy ships on the Alpha Bravo line. And that enabled us to continue to push down like this. So I'm kind of the tip of the spear here in the situation. We have access to both our damage control party, our repair party. The fifth thing that's going to be really helpful when you're doing these pushes like this, aggressive pushes with battleships, is there may be some times that you need to swap out. Someone else, one of your other division partners, needs to take the lead. Let's say you're taking a lot of focused fire, you're taking a lot of damage, you're waiting for your repair party to come up, to be able to slow down and then let one of your division mates, clan mates, take the lead and then immediately begin pushing up behind them, is really powerful, because you don't want to just stop and let them go and get isolated, but you're just shifting who has the lead, who's going to be taking some heat off. And if you're really good as a division, as a clan, to be able to do that, it's really powerful here. So from this situation, I am just stopping. I'm actually even reversing. Even when you have the engine boost, you're able to re-accelerate forward. And now let's see, we have hello everybody. He's just coming up right alongside me. He's gonna take some pressure off. I mean, just look how he's like engaging here. So he literally comes right in front of me. Even though, I mean, I'm gonna be about to pop the repair party here. But he's able to kind of swing in. He takes some attention off of me as we get to Missouri. Missouri's like, who should I focus on? Then we have the Otago. And now that he's moved up, I'm going to push up a little bit. But we have this Iowa is looking at a broadside. So I need to cut the throttle. I need to get more of my bow angled in facing the Iowa, because I could definitely get really wrecked here if I show too much. And we did take a significant portion of damage there. So now I'm just gonna have to chill here briefly. Hello, everybody's come out. Now he's engaging the Iowa. So this is what I'm talking about. So you can see now my repair party is on cooldown. I've activated my damage control party. And then we're gonna have the next division mate, because he has more health than me. And I think it's, yeah, Sergeant. So now Sergeant's gonna be able to push up, and he's gonna be able to take more attention off. So you can see they're really not focusing me so much anymore. Everybody's going in there. He's smashing. We're about to finish off the Iowa here. The Otago is pulling a lot of broadside maneuvers because he's probably just going to dump a lot of torpedoes. So that is just the power you have when you can swap out with your... getting a lot of kills there. When you can swap out with your div mates, with your clan mates here in this type of situation. So I would say those are probably the 5 key ingredients to be able to work a tactic like this, because it's fun when you can change things up, when you're not simply, I don't know, doing maybe a destroyer, cruiser, battleship. And those are really good division breakups because you're able to support each other in different ways. But when you kind of have this shock and awe, this per se blitzkrieg effect, you can really overwhelm an enemy team and just absolutely crush them. Even though they crushed our flank, we worked together cohesively as a division in those 5 things I illustrated, and how you saw us work and push up on the enemy team. So hopefully you found this video helpful, as things are about to wrap up here with this CV dying, with our Prince Oregon going to Yoinkum, I believe. But a very powerful combination of our division here in getting killing 2/3 of the enemy team, just because of the shock and awe effect. I mean, you can see the Shima, who had to leave the flank, this A flank earlier, the Nesvetsky Soyuz is beginning to catch up, and he was left out of a lot of the action. Just because of this power of a triple Georgia division. You can act swiftly, fast, and you have a lot of access to healing, and your brawling capacity is just amazing. So that's going to be over 108,000 damage with general offensive. Then the strike div, shoulder-to-shoulder division achievement, close quarters, dreadnought, and the coordinated attack, where your division has to kill at least 7 enemy ships. Not a whole bunch of secondary hits, 107, but still a significant portion. And Georgia Division OP. So we actually 1, 2, and 3 with 2,300 base XP, 1,800 base XP, and 1,700 base experience. So that's just how that worked out really well. Now, one of the things that can be very challenging against doing something like this is let's say you have a Shimakaze, you have a Yu Yang that are counteracting you being able to push. That's the weakness when you have to push into a lot of torpedoes, or maybe the Pan Asian cruisers with their deep water torpedoes. So you have to learn with different situations what enemy ships you're up against on your flanks to be able to do something like this wisely, as sometimes of course it can completely fall apart and not work. But the 5 ingredients of having willing clan mates, willing division mates, picking out good ships to be able to do a push like this. 3, pushing in unison, being coordinated in how you move up on an enemy flank. 4thly, use islands as you're moving in to try to help alleviate some pressure off of you. And then 5thly, being able to switch out with your div mates to be able to take some pressure off of you, but then following them up immediately so they don't just get focused down. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you are subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. Take care.